I knew you wouldn't. You supposed to know.
Hey, everybody. Wagwan.
I'm gonna share it. Whatever. Wagwan.
That's me.
The link should be live. If you're on this, share this link. We are sharing it right now.
Now we know I sound good.
Yeah, right. Like even that voice was crispy.
Right. Crispy.
I'm here. That's me.
Who's that with the thing?
I think that's
Fuel.
you. No, it's not. My volume is all the way down. Oh, there we go. Share. I was looking for the share button. I could not find share. If you're here, do the same thing that we're doing. Share this. JD and Kai. It's 6:30. We in this joint. We're talking about mental health and a positive vibe. No, nothing emotional, but we're going to share, talk. We want to hear from you. Let us know if you can hear us in the comments.
Can you hear me?
If you can hear us, just say, I can hear you. It's a very simple instructions.
That's it.
All right, where am I posting this? Oh, yeah.
I know. I'm over here like, what's going on?
No.
What am I doing?
We live.
It always takes us a second.
It
to
does.
like just post it out. I'm going to post it on JD and Kai show page.
Okay, yeah. I just posted it on my personal jump off.
Same.
And I'm going to send it to some people just because. My auntie Jackie, hey.
Same.
Bert, I'm going to send that to Bert Rock. But again, you know the deal. Share this. We're live. Go ahead and open that up. It's fine. We getting the countdown. We are in this thing. Episode 5 in the building.
Up in there.
So next week we're doing halfway. Let's do something special. What do you think? Let's bring some drinks in here. Let's plan something special.
Well, next week we're gonna have Betty Jean.
Yeah, well, let's have her, but let's make a celebration.
Oh, a little halfway point.
Yeah,
I'm down.
It's halfway through the season, and she bad too. I didn't know Betty Jean's cute. Like I don't know what I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
I don't know, but when she showed up, I was like, oh shit, okay, you're cute. I had to go. I was like, oh, she got a boyfriend. I can't send her to none of my friends. But
is that what guys do?
Yeah, that's what we do. Right? It's like
so
when you see goods you can't take advantage of. It's like, yo, bro, listen, I know you single. Try this one. Like. You don't check that out.
That is so funny. I'm gonna keep that.
Do you know what's hilarious though? So while I was still with my ex, right, I knew Anna from work, and she came to an event, and I tried to hook up with Paris. I was like, Paris, like, Paris, I can't do nothing with it right now.
Oh my God,
I need you to handle this for me, right?
Shout out to Paris.
And I'm so glad he didn't.
Right, that would have been weird.
Yes. Well,
so now, question. I have a question.
Right.
So if that happens, right, and then you share, you alley-oop a woman. This is so crazy. Shout out, like, ladies.
Yeah, it's mental health. Mental health.
Right. I am
right.
appalled at this,
right.
but I will play the game. So you alley-oop a beautiful woman over to a friend.
Right.
What if they do hook up? It doesn't work out. Do you kind of swing back in there? Can you swing back in, or is it like one guy already had? Look, Fuel got opinions.
Listen, I don't.
Fuel, I want your insight on
like
this.
She always be trying to invite Fuel into the show. I'm like, Fuel, stay over there. But no, I like when he's in there too. But for me, if it's not Paris, yes, like anybody but Paris, I can't.
Why?
I just can't, because Paris and I have been battling.
I'm
for
about
years.
to tag him.
Listen, Paris and I have been battling for years, and it's a competition, and I just can't go Paris, and also he light skinned. I just can't. You know,
it's insecure because
it's not.
He got light eyes too.
No,
he got light eyes.
They're lighter, but they're not light.
Oh.
But no, it's just the light skin.
Eye.
I think I'm better than you think. That's like I can't lose to you.
Shout out to Paris Paul. He's an amazing DJ, entrepreneur.
Yes, and a friend.
MC,
we tease.
DJ. Yes, good friend of mine too.
Right.
He put me on the bar mitzvah world out here.
Right.
Help me work.
Didn't I swear you did one party with us. Remember H2H?
Oh yeah, I did a bunch of parties with H2H.
Yeah, because I was like, I worked with you a couple times.
Yeah, I worked with you. Who else? I remember Smiley. Smiley.
Smiley was,
who else? I remember the main guy. His name's Sean.
Yes.
Sean.
Yeah, Sean.
I remember. Do you remember RJ?
Yeah. RJ's a Power
RJ's
Ranger.
a
right?
Power Ranger,
Yeah.
and he's done like
done a
movies
lot of
on
movies, yeah.
like Netflix with Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I chatted with him
He's
the other day. I checked
so
in on
dope.
him. Like I checked in on him. He lives in Atlanta now, so
He does.
Yeah, so
Oh.
so he's still doing great things.
Yeah, I'm
he's
sure
like
he's
a little
out there
brother.
working.
So yeah,
Shout out to RJ.
Yeah, shout out RJ. Kyler. Yeah,
RJ Kyler.
the Blue Ranger. Right.
The Blue.
You know what's
Ranger.
funny? It was one party we did that he DJ'd for us, right?
Uh-huh.
At a club at the Room. And he DJ'd for us, and I was emceeing, and I was so hyped, like the Blue Ranger, the Blue Ranger, and like he was like, "Yo, bro, just bring it down," because I was so excited for him, and he was like, they try to get me in the parking lot, like I don't, bring it down.
Yeah.
So I remember being so excited for him that he had to calm me down because I was so excited.
I mean, it gets exciting. It's
does.
exciting.
Like,
I'm the same way. I get so excited for my friends when they're just doing amazing things and you're just like, you just remember where they came from.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I remember when he first came. So yeah. So shout out RJ Kyler. We are here, JD and Kai. Thank you guys for having us. Today we're going to be talking about mental health and kind of going through some things, talking about personal experiences. So we need your input. We need your voices, and we want to hear from you. So first off, if you can hear us, make sure you can hear us okay. Let us know in the comments.
Yes.
If we don't sound crispy and right there, then something may be wrong. So let us know.
Shout out to my mom, who's I think watching still. If you're watching, say something in the comments, or dad. It may be my dad.
Mom. Yeah, I know, because they share the account.
They share the account.
Another update to remind you guys of is I'm still alive. If you're still concerned about the vaccine, I haven't grown a leg or anything weird
right.
yet.
Have you felt anything?
No, but like I said, this week, like you were talking about earlier, that you went through a lot of emotional things. Like I kind of had a moment where I was like, maybe this is making me emotional, because I had a lot of fear. I had a lot of things that I was like, maybe I can't. Shit, what am I doing? Where am I going? Like I had that moment.
What is the existential crisis?
Right.
What is going on?
And so I was like, maybe this, because I heard before this vaccine started, right? There was this video of Bill Gates, like doing this seminar, and he was telling people of ways that we can get this. I don't know exactly what it was, but he wanted a way to kind of get this out, and they were kind of like throwing out ideas. Maybe we can have a virus or have something. And the conspiracy theory or the idea was to try to kill the faith gene in people, because there's like a gene where you can connect spirituality to different things, and they call that, like, that's what they would call like the radical Muslims. Like you're too eccentric. So it was a plan to try to snuff that out. And so I was like, I'm very concerned, like maybe I won't be able to connect with people, or like, because I always feel like I'm an empath. Like I think that's what they call it.
Yes.
And I can feel people, and sometimes I feel things and it actually distracts me from even how I'm feeling.
Right.
And I got worried that maybe I've lost that talent, or like it's going to go away. Anyway, I've been having fears that my ability to connect with people and spirituality is going to go away. So
do you feel like that can go away?
But if there really is a part of your genes or something that is produced, genetics that helps you connect with that, yes. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Like I've just been me, and I've always been connected to spirituality, even having just dangerous or scary dreams as a kid, like that was connected to religion. Like I felt like my bed was shaking, or I would see serpents on my floor, and different things. I've always just felt connected, and I just come from a very religious family, so I don't know. I'm a little afraid of it.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah. So and all of these perks are making me feel proud of it. I'm hoping that I'm on the happy side of the vaccine situation.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I kind of go back and forth with it. I know a lot of family that has gotten it. Shout out to my mom, or dad, or both.
She got it.
She said, "Hi guys."
Does it, like, since they got it, does it make you feel like, hey, whatever happens to y'all, I want it to happen to me? Or would you want to be the opposite?
No, honestly, I think I understand. I think it's fine for them to get it. I think I haven't really thought about that, to be honest. I think they'll be okay. Yeah. I think they'll be okay. We're all gonna be okay. I think everyone's gonna be okay. I mean, at the end of the day, like I because of my spiritual belief, I feel like we're all on this path, and we're all doing what we're meant to do. So I feel like eventually, when it's my time, if it's my time to get the vaccine or not, then I'll get it then. And if I don't need to get it, then I won't get it. Right. I don't know. it's kind of like.
So
okay.
I mean, and that was one of the first things I kind of wanted to touch on when discussing mental health is social media and all of the anxiety that comes with all of this decisions that we have to make, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed if you have that anxiety of somebody's out to get you, right? Like I always, when I was even thinking about the vaccine, I was like, literally, if they really wanted to kind of put something in you. Mm-hmm. They would just put it in like a food that you don't even know, like, and they wouldn't tell you, like I think it was a comedian said, I don't know what's in my Fruit Loops, like,
right. Like, I think it was who was it? I think what was it? Afion did improv of not impersonation of Chris Rock talking about the vaccine.
Right,
that's what it was.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Because I think funny.
Because that is what Chris Rock said. Yeah.
Oh, so is that
Chris
what he
Rock
said? Okay, Chris Rock said it. Okay,
Chris Rock
I just saw when Afion did the impersonation. That was funny.
All right, let me see what Anna usually gives me insight on what it said. It said, whose phone is going off every show? Like, I think that's Fuels.
Must be Fuels. It's not me.
Fuels, is your mic on? Check that mic. Are you sure? Tap it. Okay, he gets mad. He don't like to check.
It's not me.
All right. So yeah, she was saying her phone was going off, but I think our sound is good, so that's why I checked that. Okay. But yeah, so Chris Rock was saying like why aren't we taking it? Because we don't know what's in it. Like, I don't know what's in my Fruit Loops. Like,
right.
Which is true.
And a lot of those things, a lot of those chemicals that are in our food are also what's killing us, what's causing cancer, what's causing heart disease. I watched there's a bunch of documentaries about food and health and things like that. And a lot of them say that they'll show like facts or statistics about how cancer was not a thing back in the day. Yeah. Heart disease is not necessarily a thing. You know what I mean? And as the decades have come along and as processed foods and fast foods have become more and more prominent in our culture, obesity is huge. Heart disease, cancer, and it's bigger. It's a lot more prominent here than a lot of other places. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Because we have the freedoms, like, there's you can do what you want.
Yeah. I'll always remember this movie. I saw Wall-E. Mm-hmm. Wow. Back in the day. Did you watch that movie?
Wow.
Wall-E was such a great movie. And it was like obviously a kids movie, animated movie, but
that's not a kids movie. That's a good movie.
It's a great movie. I mean, it's just animated, but it there was a lot of like this messaging about culture and about all of the people were in the spaceship.
Yeah,
and
they didn't even fat people.
Yeah, they were fat. They didn't even have bones anymore. Yeah. So I always think about that when I just like think about American culture and just how as a whole we're just so like,
because you have the freedom. So like, and I think that's the point that I'm making about social media and the things that we have to deal with. It's easy to feel like you're going crazy. Because you don't know what to do. You don't know who to believe. You don't know what to follow. And, a lot of things I think that I would suggest for people to do is to kind of just check yourself. And I think that's why it's important to even understand who you are, check yourself, and just know that there's a lot of different opinions. Like, there's no real right way to do anything. Like, you can do whatever you want. So if it works for you, do it. If it doesn't work for you, then don't do it, And I think it's just as simple as that. So you don't feel like you're insane. Like,
right. Yeah. I was having some anxiety recently because I recently moved.
Mm-hmm. Oh, do tell.
Yeah.
Juicy story.
And I live by myself again. And it's just different. Yeah. So I realized that change can trigger my anxiety. And so I remember sitting in my house and just thinking about everything, like all these thoughts are coming in my mind, and it was just like I'm trying to hold on. Mm-hmm. And I knew
when you say trigger your anxiety, like, do you know where it comes from, or like what about change that triggers the anxiety? Is it just change, or is it the fact of fitting in or meeting new friends?
I think it's the type of change, but I've noticed that there's a consistency in when there's change in my life, whether it's a good change, like this is a good change. I moved. I have a great relationship with my old roommates. I've moved into a great spot, the spot that I love. I love the community. I love everything about it. But when I finished my work one day and I was just sitting in the apartment and it was just quiet and it was just me in the apartment by myself, and it just felt like then my brain just started going off. And I don't know if you experienced this out there. If you agree, like, hey, feel free to write it in the comments. But I'm sitting there and all of a sudden I have this thought of like, wow, I'm really by myself. And then it's like, wow, I did all this, because I moved a lot of the things by myself. And I was like, man, I moved everything by myself. Good, pat on the back. And then it's, damn, but I really did this by myself. Right. Like, I really got to do this by myself. Like, I'm not in a relationship. So it was that thought of like, dang, I'm not in a relationship. I don't want to be in a relationship.
That's called the rabbit hole.
Yes. And then it just spiraled into a thing where I was like, at one point, I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, I miss my roommates. I miss my old life. We had such a good time. Yeah. You know, you're starting to miss old things. And thankfully, I have the awareness now to call my friends. I have a close circle of a couple of friends that I can talk to. Right. And I just talked it out. No. And one of my friends was like, okay,
So was this one of those, like, you just needed to talk, or did someone give you good advice that helped you?
No, I just needed to talk it through. Okay. And I had three different reactions.
That's a woman joke, by the way. Right. Sometimes they just need to talk for no damn reason.
Yes. So first, it's funny because first I called my homegirl, one of my best friends, and she was like, listening to me, and like, I shed a tear. She was just like, I hear you. This is what's happening. We just had like this very womanly thing. Mm-hmm. Then I called my other homegirl, and she was like, yes, girl, I'm going through the same thing too. So now I felt like I wasn't by myself. Right. Okay, cool. Then I called a guy friend, and he was like, man, you need to take a shot. He's like, go up to the counter right now, grab some tequila. We're going to take a shot right now. You're going to go out. He's like, okay. You're going to play some music. Going to look nice. Come outside. That's what we're doing. I said, okay. I took a shot. Right. And then the next morning, I had another guy friend. He called me. He was like, hey, I'm going through the same thing too. And this is why and he kind of like brought some more tears out. So honestly, it was great to have different types of people around me.
That. Yeah, you're supposed to. Like, that's why it's good to have different types of friends and different people who have different perspectives, because it actually helps you through some of your things, because you can hear a different perspective. And also it's enlightening sometimes, because you can get caught up and zoomed into your own shit. Right. And once you realize, like, hey, we all are going through things like this, and you actually don't feel as bad about yourself.
Right. Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. And then, since, and I know this, and if you don't know this, I'm telling you this because I know this is real. Feelings are fleeting, right? Emotions don't stay, whether they're good emotions or bad emotions. Feelings just kind of, they come and they go. And once we understand that, we can learn to appreciate when the good ones are around, and learn that nothing lasts forever. So even the bad ones, they just have to go through it, you know? And I think what has been important for me is to be able to find ways to cope with the bad feelings. Yeah. Because we all go through it no matter what. And my life is amazing, by the way, right now. I'm so grateful. I'm so happy about my life, and I'm grateful, and I'm healthy. My family's healthy, all of the things, right? I'm at peace. So even though I'm not in a relationship, I'm not like sad about it. Like, I'll just be very clear about that. However, I'm a human.
Happen, yeah.
Yeah, and feelings a lot of people, creep up.
I hate it when people connect like things are good in your life, or like rich people can't have problems. Right. Like you can have problems regardless of if everything is perfect. If you're rich, like, you can still have emotional problems.
I know they're first world problems. Like, also, you know what I mean? I'm also not sinking like, oh, what was me? But I've learned that I do have to acknowledge that this is how I feel. Yeah. And I feel like this, even though everything's going well in my life, this is how I'm feeling.
But I think it's the same, right? I think people try to separate the two as if like if your mom dies, you feel way worse. Like, it's literally the same feeling almost, but like sometimes it's not as justified to sit in it. Right. If your mom died, like, okay, you need a couple days, a couple weeks. Right.
Yeah. You need some time. There's a huge mourning process that needs to take place.
If you lose your job, it's like, all right, you may have to, you got to get back out there, but it's still almost the same feeling. And I would always kind of tell people, when it comes to like mental health, and like, there are a lot of feelings that are similar. Like, there's a lot of feelings that, like, in different situations, you're still going to feel hurt. You're still going to feel mad. You're still going to feel sad. You're still going to feel angry, and different things can bring those out, but it's the same feeling. And I think it's important to understand that, like, how do I get myself out of being sad? How do I get myself out of being unmotivated? Because that's a whole different feeling. I don't even know if that's an emotion, but there's a feeling of like, I want to go to my computer and create, but my brain is like, no, I don't want to. Then it's like, you know what? No, let me study my real estate, and I start reading. No,
Right.
And it's like, girl, what do I do? Like, I should
Right.
do something, and then but I can't just do and how do you get out of that? Like, and it's important to understand that. So,
Right.
so how? Like, I know you said there are things you do to cope. Is there
Mhm.
anything you can speak on that you do to
Yeah.
kind of cope as far as
Sure.
how to get out of those feelings?
Yes. And I was talking about this with a friend too. It doesn't. The same things don't always work.
Yeah.
I used to think that. I used to think, oh, like for example, before I love going out to have ice cream. I like going shopping, I like going to the park. There was a park where I used to live and it was beautiful and I could just sit out there and journal and stuff. What else do I like? I like going to the movies, you know, all the things that I like. I like to go out to live events or like watch live music, go dance like at a session or go take a class, whatever.
Right.
I had what's called like a happy list, and I'll credit Miss H.A. Johnson, who is an amazing actress and also a life coach.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of taught me this, where it was like, if you find yourself, you know, in a space where you don't know how to deal with emotions and stuff,
Right.
make a happy list and write down next to each thing of like 20 things that make you happy.
Right.
And you write down when was the last time you did any of these things. And if it's been longer than like a week or two, do it. Just do it.
Right.
And so I started doing that. And that was cool. And it was very good. And then, you know, I think I went through a breakup and I was trying to do these happy list things and it just like, wasn't working. I was like the one in the corner at the event, like, right. So it doesn't always work. So it's like, okay, well, let me try something new. And but so yeah, mainly I meditate. I have meditated a lot for many years now. I do yoga or physical fitness. Like recently I've been back on my physical fitness train.
Right.
I've been consistent. There's something about being consistent at something that feels great.
It's positive. Yeah. I
mean,
it feels like it's a proud of
myself. Right.
Yeah.
Like I did this. I woke up in the morning. Shout out to my homegirl, Kailani Ray, who's my little gym partner.
I say, the one that's always like this in the videos.
Right. She's always sleepy. But, you know, shout out to us, you know, getting up in the morning and like doing it.
It's good to have a partner for that.
Yes. And it's good to have accountability partners and things like that. So I would say like working out, meditating, journaling, also knowing when I need to rest, knowing when, hey, I don't got it today.
Right.
And honoring that, honoring how I'm feeling, honoring that I don't want to talk to anyone today. Or I don't want, like during Memorial Day weekend, everyone was outside. And for whatever reason, I just wanted to be inside my house. Yeah. Like there was party. Okay. Yeah. And it was, but in the past, I struggled with boundaries. So I wouldn't, even though I didn't want to go out, I would just be like, oh, okay, let me go because I should.
It's the fear of missing out, FOMO.
Right? Yeah. Or just wanting to please people and things like that. So, you know, I think now I've been like, no, I don't feel like going.
Yeah. So I feel like that may be a part of my life that's missing is going out and feeling different energies. Because everything's been closed off. But I usually kind of can pull myself out of feelings from that. Just going out and feeling love. Out? Yeah, just feeling love from other people and talking to people.
Change of scene and change of environment too helps, right? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you can attest to that. Where it's like, if you're feeling depressed at home,
just get out the house.
Get out the house.
Yeah, get out the house.
Just go for a walk.
Go somewhere and do something. Yeah. So like not having that, I feel like that's been one thing that I can't use to cope. But usually it's usually just a matter of going through a list for myself. Yeah. Like I wrote a few down in case I forgot. But I was like, you know, what am I trying to accomplish? Right. That's a question I ask myself. What am I trying to accomplish? What am I feeling? Whatever. I go through that whole situation. And then what steps am I taking to accomplish that? Because usually sometimes for me, I get caught up in progress, right? And I usually get in these moments where I start doubting myself. Or I'm like, what else can I be doing? Or, you know, what am I doing? Like I feel like I can't take a break, right? If I sit down or take a break, it's like, what can I be doing? Because, you know, I have a family now, like, you know, and I have a great woman at home, and it's like I can't take no days off, right? But I also don't allow that to run me into the dirt. But I can't help but not feeling like I can't relax sometimes. So I try to make sure I'm taking the right steps. And then where are we? Let's see. Sorry, y'all. Put this up. And And then, well, the obvious question: am I willing to do them?
Right.
It's like because sometimes I could actually, have a step, something I want to do, and I realize what I need to do, and it's like, nah, I'm good. Like, and that means it's maybe something I shouldn't be doing. I'm not that passionate about it. And then I start. So, because a lot of my emotional issues, like I said, just come from just trying to accomplish my goals. I'm usually pretty good as far as emotions, but like I find myself getting down on like second guessing myself when it comes to being better. Do you feel like there's something that you usually are more susceptible to as far as like emotional, or is it relationships, or is it more about career? And
sometimes I think career. Yeah, I think if something is not moving, I will start to get into that. What am I doing? Like, where am I going? Like, am I really like imposter syndrome? Like, am I just whack? Am I whack? Am I whack, guys?
Yes.
Am I whack and nobody's telling me, and I'm just going through life thinking that I'm actually doing something with my life. Because you've seen
whack people and they think they're the shit.
Right.
And it's like, Am I that dude?
Am I that person? Or is this it? Is there nothing more for me? But usually with career, I mean, I've gotten to a place where I'm, I'm also around a lot of dope, fearless people. And I think what I've learned, you shiny over there?
Yeah, I feel like I am.
He's stressed, guys. I have found that I've been around some highly successful people that do multiple things very well. Right. And this is the last couple of years. And being around these people, I'm a student of life. Right. So I've seen like, what do they have that I don't? Nothing. Or what is it that they're doing that I'm not doing? Because we're all humans. We all have the same level playing field. Right. And the biggest thing I learned, that's the common factor of all these people and the success they have attained. Yes, talent is a thing, but fearlessness. Fearlessness to just go and do. Go do the thing, figure it out, and trust that you know what you're doing.
And I think doesn't that comes back to an ability to control your own mind, right? Like as opposed to not allowing fear to get in there. You just go do it.
Just go do it.
Most of the time you talk yourself out of it. Most of the time you say I can't, or most of the time you focus on the problem. Or you just get confused in your own head.
And a big part of that is just doing it. Like even us doing this podcast. Like we didn't know what the hell we was doing at first. But it was just like, yo, let's just do it and we'll figure it out as we go. And we're still figuring it out. You know what I mean? And but so many people won't even take that first step because they'll just fear.
It's fear of failure, it's fear of success, which is a weird one to me. Like, but that's a real fear. Yeah. And just in the fear of actually just not knowing what you're doing. Like I sometimes I have fun not knowing what I'm doing. Like, it's because it's like, oh, that's why. Like, I love that moment. I love that feeling. Yeah.
Well, I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
So
fire.
Right. So since we have okay, and then we'll get into that. What time is it? Okay.
You got a whole list for me over there.
I
should have been prepared. She ain't telling me nothing, so I'm not ready for none of this.
So we are talking about mental health. If you're just tuning in, whose phone was that? Or computer?
It's not. It could be computer.
It was a computer.
It could be computer.
Anna. Yeah. We found the call.
No, right? Yeah. So it could
somebody's
be. I could be getting emails.
Okay. So, in speaking about mental health. We're both in two different scenarios. I'm a single woman. I'm living by myself.
Lucky.
I don't have children.
Lucky.
I'm not in a relationship. Cool.
Lucky.
That's my scenario.
Just kidding.
JD's scenario is he is in a relationship. He is engaged. He has kids. He has a young.
Oh, sorry. I was.
I've been cool this whole show.
You was just tell my life. Go ahead.
Anyways,
get it.
He's rocking this nice turquoise Billion Black band. Shout out to Coco Sarai.
Because she called me and she had apologized for not giving it to me for free, and she also had said how important I was to her career, and how she needed me. But seriously, and then I, because I had to go, I was busy. But she went on and was saying like she gonna give me all the colors. I don't know if she told you, but she called me. So thank you, I appreciate it, and you're welcome for.
We could call her.
Should we
call her live on the air?
No, because she's busy.
Maybe we could call her live on the air.
Because she probably
you
know what? She told me she was gonna be, because I told her to watch the show. I was gonna wear it, and she had said that she was gonna be recording. So I'll see you later on. Anyway, so what was the question that you wanted to ask?
I'm gonna talk to her later. I'm gonna text her in a second. So what's it called? So JD, he's in the house by him, full house, young child,
teenager, and a toddler.
Teenager and a toddler. He's
about to be one. What is one? One is toddler.
Toddler
right?
is two.
Two? Okay. Well, younger than toddler.
And so and all the things. So I have some questions.
Okay.
Okay. So where do you go if you want to be alone?
Nowhere. Like I leave the house. No, honestly, my family.
Can you leave? Like
I can't. I'm a grown ass man. I go where I want. But no, honestly, like my family's good. Like if I feel like I need to focus, like sometimes because my desk is kind of like the living room is here and the kitchen is here and my desk is like here. So
are you vibrating over there?
Yeah, I am. Sorry.
Jesus.
Sorry, it's this new little toy that I got. It's fine. Anyway, I put it on my taint area and it just vibrates.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so
I did.
They're really good. Like if I need silence, like sometimes I put on headphones, like because I just need to drown out things because I'm easily distracted. Right. If I see something over here, I'm like, ooh, what y'all doing? Or ooh, what's that noise? So I put on headphones, and if that doesn't work, then I literally just ask, like, listen, I need to focus. Can y'all just give me a minute, right? And then,
so you ask your 1-year-old baby.
Well, no, Anna will take him in the room or something.
Okay.
And then obviously my son, like he has his own room and he has his computer. So
I ain't a teenager. Teenagers just
right.
Go away. Yeah.
Not always. Like he's a very loving, like he's literally just like me. So I want to take this time to thank all of my family for putting up with me. Like it's like a scary movie, right? Because he's like, you'll wake up. And he'll be at the door waiting for a hug, and I'm like, I'm not yet. I'm not ready, man. Like, just let me get my life together first. But he's ready to be there. He's ready to be in your face, and he wants to tell you a story about Minecraft. And I'm like, I don't know Minecraft. I don't want to hear another story.
Right. Well, okay. So now, because when we're kids, we're those kids,
exactly,
right? And we're like
exactly
annoying our parents all the time. Like my parents had no personal space,
and siblings.
Right. And my siblings, right? I would barge into my brother's room like, hey! Right. And he would come barge into my room, jump on my bed.
You put down the porn, but not right now.
Right. Oh my god.
Not now,
Ew,
Kai.
now that I think about that, ew, I never had that.
Did you ever catch him?
No. Sorry, I screamed so loud to this mic.
Just asking, it happens. My sister's caught me once.
Oh god. Anyways.
Yeah, no, move on.
Disgusting.
Hey, Aunt Jackie. Let me shout out Aunt Jackie real quick. My Aunt Jackie. She's in the Cayman Islands, I think. Actually, she's in the Caribbean or something. I don't know where. But anyway, thank you for stopping in. Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, I remember I used to just impede I used to sleep. Even now, like when I go visit my parents, I'll still like get into bed with them and like just sleep in between both of them. Like, okay, guys.
Right. And it's so sweet. But now I'm an adult and I'm like, man, if a little human tried to like. Yeah. And it's all, but I think that's one of the biggest things about parenting is like, you have to put your emotions aside. Right. And you have to be patient. Because it's easy to say, not now, you're being annoying, you're doing this, or you're mad at him because he doesn't know how to operate as a functional adult yet. Right. And so, but you really haven't taught him.
And you can't be like, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, right.
Please respect my boundaries. Right? No, you don't have any boundaries.
You come home from a long day and he just really wants to tell me about something. It's like, oh, okay, hey, come on, man. And like, you have to really just get over that. And that's really a part of it being a parent. And that's why, people say, make sure you're ready, because you really do have to put yourself aside. And it's not so much that it's hard, but like, you have to understand that this is a young human that may not understand your adult responsibilities. Right. So they don't get that you have a bad day. They don't get that you got fired. They don't get that you may not have no money. They just want your attention.
Yeah. Like that's another thing too. Like now that I'm older, I'm like, Jesus Christ, the money? Mm-hmm. I just felt like my parents had endless money. Like it was always just like there. Everything, we weren't like having this luxurious upbringing, but we never went without. And I'm so happy that, I'm so proud of them now as an adult, because I'm like, girl, right. ramen noodle diets.
Ramen noodle
You know what I
diet,
mean?
yes.
Like we would, or just thinking about that. Like
Yeah.
even me being in my 20s and stuff. Like if I would have had children then, it would have
Yeah.
been.
It hits me
crazy.
all the time that I'm like, my parents probably had less money than I have now. And
Right.
I never really wanted for anything. Like
Exactly.
there were things they wouldn't buy me.
Right.
And I probably know now that they may not have the money to waste on that. Like I
Right.
never got Jordans or any of the fancy stuff, but I did get my video games I wanted.
Right.
But that's really all I needed. But I think about like they didn't have much money than I have, and I felt like they had everything.
Right. They had so much. Yeah. Like I remember when Christmas, my brother got PlayStation and I got Nintendo 64.
Right.
It was like who gets
What?
both? Like we each got a system.
Right.
Granted, again, like we grew up like not necessarily poor, but not necessarily rich. We were definitely in the middle there. But yeah, like it was just So now,
okay, go ahead. I was gonna say I'll take your question and ask you, where do you go when you feel like you need togetherness? Since you're alone now.
I know.
No, is it all phone calls? Batty G, come see her.
I actually spoke to G today about. I was like, I miss you guys. I now, I go for a walk, and I live in. I'm not gonna say actually where I live, but I live.
Somebody out there. Damn, come on, say that shit.
I live in a place where there's a lot of people walking around, and that's one thing I miss about New York, where New York, I could just walk and put my headphones on and just be around, be in the mix. I like being around people. And then I like to be able to go be by myself because I do enjoy my alone time. So I live in a place where there's a lot of people. I live in a building, in a community where I'm seeing people all the time, which is cool. I like to people watch. And then I just like call up my friends and like I'll go out and thankfully, understanding what makes me happy, like going to live music things and having a network of friends, different types of friends that like different things that I can go do things with. So it's a little bit, I have to be a little more active. Whereas when I lived with roommates, what I liked about that was that I could just come downstairs and just run into someone. Hey, we would literally have like coffee
but just like as humans, we always gonna notice what we don't want. Like I'm sure when you were with the roommates, it was the times where you needed your personal time and you're like, oh, everybody's here, damn it. And like,
well, you know what?
Now
well,
you kind of miss the.
It was where we lived. The structure, we lived in a townhome, so our bedrooms were upstairs, and then like on the third floor, and then on the second floor we had our like common area, living room, dining room, kitchen. And so that would be where we would always run into each other. Or like if I'm coming out of my room, they're coming out of the room like, hey, okay, keep it moving.
Yeah.
Or, and this is why we got along well, because if I came out and I don't want to talk to nobody, I have to say hi every time I came out my room. Like,
yeah, you don't.
You know what I mean? No. Or, so things like that. But yes, now I have a question. Ready?
Okay. Let me loop that around.
Okay.
Because we're talking about mental health.
Yes.
Do you feel like, what are the negative parts of being alone as far as your mental health? Like, do you feel like there's anything you can feel that is going to be affected mentally?
Well, there was before. Before I moved in with roommates, I did live by myself, and there was a time where I had gotten really sick with I had bad skin issues and things like that, and I was quarantined in my own home by myself for like a month. And I was like, I kept thinking, oh, this is going to go away. This is going to go away. It's just, it was like skin rashes and things like that. And I was trying to like, and I'm a very much like, I'll do it by myself kind of person.
Right.
So I was just handling it by myself. I was just going through it. But then towards the end, I started getting worse and worse and worse to the point where it was like, I would struggle to get out of bed to make some food. I had to like Postmate stuff because I didn't want to go outside and not for nothing, but it was like really bad.
Yeah.
Like
was your friendship circle not as strong then?
It wasn't as strong then. I'll be honest. I had an issue with reaching out.
Yeah.
I had issues with reaching out to people. And because I always was very self-sufficient.
Yeah.
So and I was suffering. Like it was bad. Like my arms were all like rashed up, my face, my neck. It was like I couldn't. And it was it was really dry. So if I moved, like my skin would break and I would be bleeding. Like, it was crazy. One day,
it's like a scary movie, right?
It felt like one day I would like muster up the strength to like show pictures because it looks I look like a zombie. It was crazy. Anyways, One day,
You're
I'm
probably a
sitting
cute
there.
zombie, though.
No, I was
Oh.
not. Trust me, it was not cute. My friends will tell you. My two friends is Coco and Aurelia that actually saw me in that state. But one day, I'm laying in bed, and I had an anxiety attack, and I was like,
"What is that? How does that feel?"
I felt like, yo, if I die right now, nobody would realize that I was dead until like days later. You know what I mean? Like no one's coming to check for me. Like no one's gonna come and help me. And I just had like this, and I just again the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I was like, no one cares, and I felt really sick. And I was like, I think I need to go to the hospital.
Right.
And I was like, who can I call? And I just felt like my mom. She's in Georgia. I called my mom and I'm crying. I was like, I think I need to go to the hospital. And she's like, call. It was 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I called Coco, and she had just left the session, so she happened to be up, and she came. She didn't go to bed. She came to my house, picked me up, took me to the hospital.
Look at God.
Yes, it helped me, but after that, like her and my friends like scolded me, like, no, you cannot not reach out, like you cannot not have a circle of friends. And I think the pandemic, also being quarantined, kind of made me start doing that and reaching out. Yeah. Because
that's, I mean, and I ask because, like I think every situation, could have a negative effect, right? Because, I know like I know you want a real relationship and a family and, and all that. And,
all the things,
and it's like, and there's sometimes I want to be alone and just like have my personal time like you. Because I remember the benefits of it, and that's why I kind of ask, because it's always greener on the other side.
And I think ultimately what I'm learning is being at peace with yourself. I think I am embracing this time.
Enjoy.
Now that I'm a little more settled in my space. At first, it was like poof, harsh adjustment. But now that I'm a little more settled, I'm like, oh, I like waking up in the morning. I like just walking around, being able to do things myself, not have to be around human beings,
and whatever you want to wear,
and whatever I want to wear,
or nothing. Listen, I be yelling at Anna sometimes. She wakes up early and opens all the damn windows. So I get up like in my drawers, like, God damn it, like, and then I go in the bathroom. The bathroom window is wide open. I'm like,
I love it. I do the same thing too. I be like,
I know, but I'm like, but I want to get up and walk around in my drawers. Like,
Anna said, you have the bathroom when you want to be by yourself,
right? Sometimes, sometimes, and then Derek be knocking. Hey James, I'm like, what? Leave me alone. So yeah, but and there's times, even as far as my mental health, just to kind of comment on that, like I have to just take accountability and remember I'm sharing space with people.
Yeah.
Right. And it's in understanding that helps me not get into too much of a like, oh, I wish I was just alone. And and this is, and just focusing on the negative things.
Right.
Because there are different people. They have a slightly different ways of thinking sometimes. And, and sometimes I think it's a little more negative than I like. And but it comes from fear. Like I have a teenager. Like sometimes just even learning who he is and how he wants to be, like I have to kind of motivate him or help him. And Anna has her things, and so you take on all of that. And sometimes if you have a family, it's just important to take accountability. And in yourself, understand what you're feeling, and try to separate yourself in your own space as you're together. I mean, I know that sounds
and you can't
crazy,
help sometimes but to take on other people's energies. And like I'm similar to you in the fact that I take on people's energy. Like people are sad, I get down. Or I try to make them happy, so I'm exerting so much energy.
So much, right?
So
and
being
I'm
able
tap
to
dancing and
and so being able to be like quiet and be in the same room with someone or a couple people is everything. I'm realizing, the magic of just being able to just be. Because sometimes when you're in company, you're just like, hey guys, so like let's talk about this.
But is everyone Fuel, are you like that? Is everyone like that? I was just thinking maybe it's because I'm somewhat of an entertainer and you're kind of an entertainer, dancer. Like maybe it's just us. Like, but does everyone feel like they need to tap dance? You're kind of an actor too. Just shake your head. What do you think? Are you like that?
He said no.
Okay.
You don't feel like that. But are you like that around everyone, or
say like a chick you dating? Do you feel like you need to entertain? Or obviously you better.
Or do you feel just like you're like, this is who I am and this is what it is, and you're not afraid of awkward silence?
No, because if it's awkward silence, I basically will cut whatever's going on and move on to something
Yeah. So that's why I'm not afraid of silence.
I don't like entertain to entertain. Like I'm
No.
not
Right.
gonna say, like if you first meet someone, I'm not going to be the one to do all the talking or do all,
Right.
It's an uncomfortable feeling. So I'm like, okay, you ain't got nothing to say. I done said enough for I want to say.
Have you? Okay,
Yeah.
I have a question now for both of y'all.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on a date and it gets quiet like that, and you're
I
just
love
like,
it, though.
I just don't have nothing else to say right now.
I honestly love it. While I'm answering, go turn on your mic just so at least we have your voice, because I don't know if anybody can hear you. But for me, I kind of enjoy it, and it's a moment when you can sit with somebody, especially that you don't know, and just be in a comfortable silence, right? Like it's a difference.
Is it comfortable?
It's a difference between not having shit to say.
Whose phone?
I know. Fuels.
It's over there. I don't know what.
Yeah, it's
Anna got me paranoid.
Right? No, it's a difference between not having shit to say and being awkward and just being able to be with each other, right? And I noticed those moments, like, because I watch chick flicks, right? So I know those are great moments, right? And I like to be in those moments because it makes me feel confident, like I'm comfortable. She's comfortable. This is like a romantic moment, like we're comfortable. And
this is intimate,
right? And it's like I'm aware of it, and I'm like, and I appreciate that,
right?
When there's somebody that you don't have to sit with. But like as I was saying, like I like to entertain.
I heard you,
but I also don't mind just sitting in silence.
Yeah.
Right. But there is a part of me that feels like I want you to have fun. Let me do something. Hey,
right.
Hey, like, and that's exhausting. So I love it when I don't have to.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
So what about you, Fuel? We got him a mic just so y'all can at least hear his voice.
Sorry, Anna. That was my phone.
I know. Listen, don't be addressing my fiance with that deep ass voice, man. Take some bass out your voice. The camera off.
You're hating, man. Anna, your man be hating. But anyway.
Your man be hating.
Right.
Say it like
no. I just basically I don't make it a uncomfortable situation. It's kind of like you mentally know that you guys don't have nothing in common, or you guys are not, the chemistry is not there. So,
but what if the chemistry is there, but you're just like,
if the chemistry's there, it's not gonna be no silence. It's not gonna, it's not gonna be no awkwardness.
Yeah,
no.
But if chemistry, like,
but there'll be silence.
Because
I mean, there's times where I've talked to people like, and we have great chemistry. We're good friends, even my friends. Yeah. And after a while, we just like not talking no more.
Yeah.
But it's not like bad. We're just like,
it's, it,
sitting there just doing stuff.
I mean, sometimes when you're just not talking and you're actually still having a good time, you know what I'm saying? And you could be thinking, or say like you at a bar or something, and a band is playing. You're not really talking. You're being entertained by something else or whatever. So you're having a good time, and you're enjoying the comfort of someone else that's with you. You know, but if we're just on one-on-one and I'm sitting, I'm asking questions, especially when you first meet and you ask all the little basic shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
You be like, all right, that's done. You know what I mean?
I wish we could just get like we could just give each other like a piece of paper. Like, here, this is my stats.
Right.
Fun facts.
I'll be like,
get to the deep shit.
But I enjoy that though. I enjoy getting to know people. Like I enjoy the process of literally figuring you out. Like it's like, it's my gosh. Right. I enjoy that.
Okay. I'll tell you guys a situation happened to me this past weekend, right? So I met someone new, right? And he we I'm trying to say this without saying it because I don't want to make it too hot. But
earmuffs, mom.
There was one. No. It's not crazy because we just met, right? So we're communicating via text and stuff. And he's like, "Hey, so what are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm here at my house, just hanging out." And he was like, "Okay, well, I'm over here." And so I don't know him like that. We just met. He sends me a video of himself without his shirt on.
Okay, like I was like,
I know, right? we both was like, hold on.
Right, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna front. I was a little bit like, oh God, I don't want to open this because you just don't know, right? So,
like, but on the date.
No, she said
we didn't even go on a date.
No,
we didn't even go on a date.
Okay.
We have not even gone on a date.
All
this
right.
was like we met. He like approached me and I was like, hey, whatever. Okay. We exchanged information, whatever. This is us like communicating, first communication, right? Granted, we don't know each other, whatever. then he sends me a video of himself, and he's like in the like the hot tub. He's like, "Hey, I'm in a hot tub." Blah blah blah. Right?
No.
That's,
Was it at least nice though? Was it worth?
I mean, yeah, he's
Okay.
an attractive man.
Okay.
Yes, shout
Just
out to
checking.
you. Anyways, but I was like, two things. Number one, I don't know you.
No.
right.
Like, if I allow this, 'cause I don't like that. I
That's
don't
what I'm saying.
like
No, Kai,
unsolicited
listen.
videos.
That
I don't know, because that could be the start to something else.
Exactly.
The next
If you
thing, now you
entertain
sending
it.
me more. Right.
If you
It's
entertain
like
it,
when
then
you're
that escalates. to
exactly
something,
when you
yeah.
first meet
Let it
somebody,
escalate. Y'all dating.
you gotta teach people how to treat
to
you.
treat you. I give
Right.
you that. I'll give
So
you
I
that.
can't let you know. Whereas if we already knew each other and it was something playful, then
Yeah.
cool, I would let it rock.
Right.
But now I have to be like on guard, and I have to be like, I would
No.
be like, well, don't do that, sir. You know,
No.
and I kind of made a comment like that,
Yeah.
Well,
and I was like,
most guys that actually go that route, first meeting someone, they want to see your reaction.
right,
They want to see,
See?
like,
Ladies.
dang, is she feeling me like that or whatever? And then if she
Oh,
is,
this-
you know what I'm saying, he's
Right.
actually kind of pinpointing like, oh, okay, I know if we go here, if we do this,
I
like
wouldn't
Right.
by
Because
a week or
Stop.
so.
First of all,
No, that's
stop.
real talk. That's
This-
real talk.
nah,
That's
nah.
real
I
talk.
think Phil is
That's
on
real
the
talk.
Real talk. Let
That's
me
real
do,
talk.
no, that's not real talk.
Yes, it
First
is
of
real
all,
talk.
he knows he's
It
a
is real
good-looking man, and he knows that's that.
Yeah,
women
exactly. He
like.
knows he's a
Right,
good
but
looking
I
man.
It's
And he
not-
knows
no,
if you entertain or whatever and see if you're vibing, whatever he's dishing
That's why
out.
I wish I could
No,
control
I'm
your
saying,
mic.
no, that's right. Hey, I got the camera and the mic now. How about that? But
Beat your ass.
But you know what? Because again,
First, let me speak. I mean, because I
Okay.
got to prove this point.
you're right.
Right?
Here we go.
That is.
I know, right? We
I,
both.
listen. Don't look. First of all, that's his perspective. Don't be out here saying that's what men do. Like that's. I wouldn't do it that way. If I had.
No,
it,
you
that,
wouldn't.
She
A
didn't
lot-
say
a lot
all
of
men, but that
a
is
lot
what
of
men do.
I'm saying him.
That's
He's saying
one
that's
man.
what men
That's
do.
that's one route that men can take.
I just want
Right.
to make sure that that's what fuel would do. Right?
Because honestly,
Don't be out here putting that
but
on all
what
the
I
men.
will say
Don't even
is,
go-
out
don't
of
even go
most
there.
men that I've spoken to,
Yeah.
men have been usually the first one to send me a picture of like
Right.
themselves.
Right.
But and
Right.
it's because, like, first of all, that's what you could tell. That's something he feels proud about, right? His
Right.
shirt off,
He's
he's
cute.
good looking,
He's
right?
cute, Yeah.
And most people he gonna send it to, and it's really just to get you feeling like, oh, hey,
right.
right? It is. It is nothing else beyond that. It's
icky.
nothing else beyond from my
That's bullshit.
perspective.
It
right?
could be
That's
icky.
bullshit. You
'Cause
trying to
not-
hold on to man
no,
code, nigga.
not
Don't even
every
go there.
man-
Don't even go
Because
there.
literally, you just know what your assets are, right?
No.
And like, I know if I've never sent anything first. Like, I'm not a picture sender. Like, 'cause
Right.
I don't really see myself as like I'm just that player. I'm gonna send you
I
a
know,
picture.
but see, that's the thing. I don't like that type of person.
Right.
So for me, it was, and I get that because I
Yeah.
understand like there's guys that go that route, and again, he's a successful guy.
Right.
You know, whatever, all the things. He's confident. I can appreciate where he's coming with that.
Yeah.
But for me, as a woman who also respects herself, who's not gonna be like, who has to, you know, and I think this is a woman thing too. Like we enjoy these things. We want to
Right,
be
of
playful.
course,
I want to
yeah.
be
That's what I'm
flirtatious
saying,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. However, I know that
Listen,
how you're gonna
Women too.
how you're gonna perceive me,
Right.
how I react is how you're gonna perceive me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if I would have responded with a video
Right.
of myself,
That's-
then now we're going in another direction.
Yeah.
Now we're going in.
It's
I
more
can
than a
take this
mental.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
Right,
just
it's
a
a
mental
game.
thing. It's it's
It's
physical.
a game.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
then-
And it's kind of like
So
the
for
shit,
me,
yeah.
I'm like, damn, I gotta be that person. But whatever, I'm gonna do it because I want him to respect me.
Right.
So I was like, yo, you better don't be showing your nether regions. I made a
Yeah.
joke out of it,
Yeah,
right?
That's just- yeah.
Okay. Then he goes, oh, assumptions. You're judging me. That's not what I was doing. And this and this and that. And blah, blah,
Which
blah,
is-
blah, blah.
That's why that's what he was doing. It's
That's
because he
exactly
just
what he
basically
was
had
doing.
that.
Stop with that.
No,
hatred.
that's not hatred.
We don't
It's
know
real
what
talk.
he was doing.
No, it's
we
real
don't know
talk.
what he was
He's a
doing.
fire sign
Let me
too.
tell you.
I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah,
Let me
we
tell you,
don't
it's
know
real
what he was
talk. I
doing.
don't care what you're talking about, James. That's real talk because the whole thing is
You has
the whole
officially
thing.
hijacked the show.
I mean, yeah.
No, no.
Because it's the same as when you meet someone and they send you a nasty pic or whatever. They want to see what your response
girls?
is or whatever. Right. You know what I'm saying? You send the girls a black. That wasn't me.
That's
that
not
time.
me. I don't know what that
Oh.
was.
What was that? That was a
Whose
whole-
phone is that?
Who's
That wasn't me
1998?
that day.
What was that?
It might be one of my other phones.
Yeah,
It must be.
He got a
my
flip phone.
I
Over
do
there.
have another phone
He
somewhere.
got Nokia.
Make your point and take off your mic.
Anyway, no.
Show.
You're talking to God right now. Like, but and you see, I kept the camera on
I
Kai.
know.
I'm not even.
Yeah, I know, right?
I ain't talking to you.
Yeah,
Jay. No, I'm just kidding.
my lighting don't look that pretty anyway. I gotta,
Actually,
Nah,
you don't.
no,
You good.
He
You good.
He's trying to. He got
I know,
like
right?
the chocolatey, like
He just
brown.
wanted me to turn the camera to him.
Yeah,
To see.
Right.
I want you to finish this point so we
Okay.
can move on.
Well, I mean, it's the same as maybe he didn't get that rational with the D pics. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
No,
that most of them do, but most of them, with the main thing that they do is to say, okay, I got it going on. I got this going on, or whatever. I want to see her response in when I send this certain picture. You know what I mean? And it dictates basically where their mind is, as opposed to you doing something physically or being something mentally. You know what I'm saying? And if you basically entertain the physical before the mental, then they're going to basically, that's where they're going to go.
Put you,
exactly.
right?
You know what I'm saying?
That's just where it goes. But
that's just where it goes. And honestly, that's not what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Right.
If I was younger or something like that, and I'd be like, whatever, I'm not that space with any guy right now. So it was easy for me to be like, cut. No. But then his reaction was a little bit like, I didn't want to entertain it. Point is,
because that's why I say it, because you don't know what his intentions were, and like he may have been sad, like he could be thinking what he's thinking.
But that's what I'm saying. Because I said this too.
Yeah.
I was like, I get it. However, he's like, oh, because you're assuming. I'm like, yes, there's assumptions because we don't know each other.
Exactly.
So now there's gonna be assumptions.
That's all you have.
When you don't know each other, because
Exactly.
you're trying to decipher someone's intentions
Right.
based on no preconceived notion of their character.
Right.
Thank you.
And
Right.
I definitely want to point out that you played that perfectly. So I want
Thanks.
all ladies to keep that in mind, that you do have to show someone how to treat you. So
And I
the
will
way
say-
the way you reacted to it was perfect. Like, we don't know what his idea was, what he was thinking. I know
Whatever.
that's
He
what we're
probably got
arguing
caught.
about.
He probably felt bad.
But I do want to point out that that's exactly how you play it. Know what you want and actually know how to get that.
And I will
maintain that.
say, just for my ladies out there, I will say that I held my ground, and there's no bad blood or anything like that.
Right.
And honestly, I felt from his reaction that it was over.
over.
Like,
Yeah, it
we're
was
not gonna
over.
speak at all because
it is assumptions.
Right.
Right.
It felt
Get
like
out
he
your
was
feelings,
upset,
right?
whatever.
Else it
And
wouldn't
I was
be
just
over,
like,
you know?
okay. I mean, honestly, if this is what it is, then that's not what I want anyways.
Right.
But then he hit me up
No.
today, and I was like,
Oh, today. Oh, this is new.
this is recent.
Oh, okay.
I told you over the weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've been missing the important
And I
parts.
honestly didn't think we were going to speak again. And now he let me. And honestly, I'm not to say I don't know. Like this, most likely it'll just be probably friendship.
Yeah.
But
Who's that?
that's not me.
Boop, 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 boop.
It's not me.
That's
Anyway,
anyways.
It's not me.
So
Yeah. I was gonna say, I know you had one more question, but I
know,
do like the
it's
way you handled that.
It's 7:32.
I know, right?
All right,
So-
oh my god, I have so much stuff to say.
Right? That's why I was gonna try to get in one more, but
Okay.
I did want to ask, like, with this whole situation, like, how has it been? Like, I know he hit you up, right?
Yeah.
But how's the conversation been now? Does it feel sexual? Does it feel more like he's trying to get to know you or
No, it just feels like maybe he's just back. It's still very
Very
initial.
new,
I
very new.
honestly
Hard to
don't
know.
know
It's
what
hard
his
to tell.
intentions are. I'm sure we don't know each other.
Yeah.
So I think it's just very
Yeah.
like chill. He backed off a little bit. As long as it's not disrespectful, and
Yeah.
and I made it clear that I understand if that's like your intention, but I have to also be clear that respect and all this is very
Yeah.
important to me. So
Yeah.
this is how I'm gonna
Yeah. And
proceed.
since we are on mental health, I
And
want
boundaries.
right.
Mhm.
I want to point out like that mental health part of what you just said, and
Yeah.
knowing what you want and just holding true to who you are. So
It's
regardless
empowering.
regardless of what he wants or what he's trying
Yeah.
to do, if you stand your ground and you stand up for who you are and your pedigree, I like the
Right.
word pedigree.
Come on, pedigree. I feel like a
uh,
dog now.
Right, that's what it does, right? But I like it. Then like they'll come or go, right? They'll stay or
Right.
they'll follow suit.
And I'll be honest, that's
And that's
not
all
how
you
I
gotta
always was.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. Because I'm like empathetic and I'm very sensitive and
Yeah.
I don't like to hurt people's feelings.
yeah.
I would always put people since we're talking about relationships, I would put men's feelings before mine.
Oh, your mom said, "Proud of you, KK. Love you."
She knows.
Oh.
I told her the
Shout
story.
out. I don't know.
was
I don't
like,
know if
"Oh,
that's mom. I don't know if that's mom or dad.
That's
but
my mom. My mom be saying KK.
Okay.
My
yeah.
dad.
They got different
Yeah.
names.
Yeah.
Yeah, we proud of her too,
So,
mom. Good job. Good job.
You
did
know,
well.
but I wasn't always like that. Like I said,
Mhm.
I would be in the past, especially being in the industry. There's men that kind of come on to you a certain way, or they talk to you a certain way.
Trying to laugh it off, smile it off.
Yeah, and I would
Yeah.
just be like, okay, and I would be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then, it's something about getting a little older. You know, once I hit the third floor,
and kind of getting your own shit underneath you,
and
right?
and then
Like,
having the confidence of having my own career, having my own things, like being a song "Independent Women" by Destiny Child hit different when you're older. You're like, I'm on my feet. I bought it.
INDENDNPE.
Right, like I'm like, oh yes, I bought all this. I bought all this ish.
All right,
But anyway, so it's empowering, and now again being very clear on what your boundaries are, what in life with everybody, with your friends, with your parents, with your loved ones, with your relationships, with dating, whatever. What are your boundaries? And then just like holding true to those.
Stick to it, and that's men and women. I noticed that a lot more women kind of complain about their counterparts more. It's like, all right, he's a man. I don't know what his intentions are, but if that's not your intention, or if that's not what you want, then don't allow it to happen. Like, shut up.
Because we're taught to kind of like, well,
go with it,
and like, be the ride or die and all that. And I'm like, but both people have to earn that title of like ride or die.
Exactly.
I think both men and women have to mutually come to an understanding and earn that. And as a woman, I would say that both. I'll take it back. Both. We allow people to treat us how we allow them. Like we teach people how to treat us, and we allow people how to treat us. So if as a man, if you have a woman who's like verbally abusing you and like telling you ain't ish and like,
or buy me this,
right?
Let's be real. Let's be real. What it is.
Having you pay my bills, all that. Then that's your fault for allowing that.
Don't let it happen.
And vice versa. If you're a woman and you have a guy like impose himself onto you before you were ready, or like, kind of make you
no.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, or disappearing and coming back.
Yeah.
That's another thing. That whole disappearing coming back shit. Yeah.
That's a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother show.
So we are out of time, but like, do you have one quick one? Do we have one more quick one on your list?
Yeah. Are we doing the fasting thing? Are we gonna do that?
Oh yeah, we ain't got time, Kyle. Let's
there's so much. Oh my gosh, there's so many things.
Skip that because
I mean, we could do it next week. Honestly, we could also talk about this stuff because if we have
Phil,
Gigi on
you
the
want to do it with us?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
If we have Gigi on the show, she also she's a yoga instructor, and she also will have some insightful things about mental health.
Yeah,
so we can continue this.
Let's do it next show because that's the show.
We'll do it next.
Do it on because
and she's actually done a lot of fasts. She's done a lot of different
I've never fasted in my life.
So many. I have like
How long?
benefits and all that. It's gonna be a week.
A week.
Oh, I could do it.
From one show to the other.
And so we had a few different options.
No,
like a few different options. We were gonna do one where you eat between 8 and 12 only.
That's intermittent fasting from 12 to 8.
12 to 8 only. And then what were the other options?
There's we could do like a juice fast.
Yeah, that's I can't. I need meat. I don't. This is.
Or we could do a water fast, which is where you just.
Let's talk about it later. We doing it next show.
But we gonna vote. We gonna think about it. You guys let us know
ready.
too what you guys think. What fast do you think we should?
I'm not ready. So next show, season 6. I mean season 6. Episode 6. We're gonna have Batty G on. I think we played one of her songs a couple of weeks ago. But she's gonna be on. She's great. She's fun. She has pink hair. You can't go wrong with the pink hair.
People think we're sisters, right? Because we have the same haircut.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that with the haircut. So it's gonna be a great show. Join us on that. We're also gonna be celebrating the 6th episode, which is a halfway point. So we may turn up and have
we would have a little something.
We're gonna have a few things special on there. We may do a yin skid. I don't know. We're gonna make it fun.
Oh,
fun. All right. So we'll see y'all next week. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Fuel, for jumping in.
It's been a good episode. It just went by.
And chatting with us. I know, because we just talking.
We be talking, y'all.
And as we go out, just take care of yourself. Mental health. Yes. Just check yourself. If anything doesn't feel anything but happiness, then look into it. Think about it. Ask yourself questions.
And we'll be back next week with also some more things about mental health. We'll talk about meditation. We'll talk about therapy, journaling, going in something called nature forest bathing. Have you ever heard of that?
I have heard of it, but I don't know if it's in the same terms that you're talking about. Forest bathing.
We'll talk about all those things next week, and we'll get into some things, some benefits and some things that you can do to help benefit your mental health.
And lastly, I want to make sure I say this, that if you are having issues, always call a professional. Like if you're feeling like nothing is happening, call someone. Call a friend, talk to them, or, but by any means necessary, if you're having issues, call a professional. All right. Yes. Everyone has opinions. A professional can help you professionally. And just listening to opinions on
Right.
Facebook is not the way to
Therapy.
go.
Therapy, a counselor. There are
Right.
many ways. Google free counseling.
Right.
There's hotlines that are free and available to you at any time, 24/7. It helps.
Yeah,
it helps just to be able to talk.
Because a
things out.
professional can help you specifically. There's a lot of different things that you can do. There's perspectives from one person to another person, and it can change. It can vary. They may not work for you. A professional can tailor it to you.
Yes.
So that's why all I wanted to make sure we say, take care of yourself. Thank you guys for joining us.
We love you guys.
And till next time.
Bye.
I'm so happy about the sound.
Our show.
Right? I know, right? It went so fast.